Linda's morning had all vibes of a Seattle downpour, gray, soggy, and steeped in silent neighborly resentment. Then a stranger in a polka-dot raincoat handed her a hand-painted ceramic mug with wonky sunflowers, grinning like she'd cracked life's code. "For your grumpy porch guy," she winked before vanishing into mist. Linda, 52 and too tired for feuds, stared chipped handle, lopsided hope glazed into its side. 2 blocks away, a craft in Linda's morning had all vibes of a Seattle drizzle, gray, persistent, with that unshakable chill clinging to her bones. 52 years of life hadn't dulled her knack for missteps, like that morning's fumble with her keys, sending them skittering across porch toward property line she'd avoided for months. Next door, Marjorie's curtains twitched, a silent reminder of their feud over misplaced trash bins and unreturned hedge clippers. Linda's stomach knotted like tangled yarn. Her hands, though, those she trusted. Years ago, they'd shaped clay into mugs for her late husband, each stroke of glaze a love letter in cobalt. Now, they trembled over a fresh idea, a craft and coffee workshop local roastery where neighbors could sand rough edges over steaming cups. She pictured Marjorie's hands, stiff from arthritis, wrapping around a hand-painted mug, Linda's peace offering. Fear slithered in, a serpent whispering, "What if she laughs?" But Linda had survived worse than pride's sting. She mixed glaze with same stubbornness that had carried her through layoffs and lonely winters. By afternoon, she tacked flyers downtown, her heart pounding like a drum solo in a jazz cafe. Seattle's gossip mill spun faster than her pottery wheel. By week's end, 12 strangers and one tight-lipped Marjorie filled shop. Linda's mug sat between them, its chipped handle a relic of past mistakes, its fresh flowers proof things could bloom again. Marjorie reached for it, hesitated, then turned it slowly in her hands. No words. Just steam rising between them, bridging divide, one shaky sip at a time. Linda's morning had all vibes of a Seattle drizzle, soft, persistent, with that familiar gray hug. She clutched her latest creation, a hand-painted ceramic mug glazed in swirling blues, its handle shaped like a curling wave. It was meant for Mrs. Kowalski next door, though their last exchange had been frostier than a Puget Sound winter. Decades of side eyes over misplaced trash bins and overgrown hedges had built a wall thicker than Linda's favorite chunky knit scarves. But today, armed with handcrafted hope, she marched toward destiny, or at least toward Kowalski's porch. Mid-stride, her boot caught on a rogue garden hose. Mug flew, spinning like a deranged top, before landing miraculously upright on a patch of moss. Woman exhaled, 52 years of life flashing before her eyes. A chuckle bubbled up. Maybe universe had jokes. Across street, a woman with silver braids and paint-splattered overalls paused, eyebrows arched. "Nice save," she called. "You're either really lucky or really practiced aerial ceramics." Turns out Margot ran a craft and coffee reconciliation workshop, a snug little spot near Pike Place. "We turn grudges into gratitude," she said, handing she a latte with a foam heart. "One crooked pottery bowl at a time." Skeptical but intrigued, woman signed up. Week 1, wonky coasters. Week 2, lopsided candles. By week 3, her hands remembered their youthful agility, shaping clay into something sturdy, beautiful. Each piece carried intention, not perfection. That mug she'd nearly sacrificed to gravity? Margot helped her refine it, adding tiny silver stars to glaze. "Symbols of shared sky," she winked. Back home, Linda left mug on Kowalski's step with a note, "For mornings that need extra warmth." Days passed. Then, a knock. Mrs. Kowalski stood there, holding a jar of homemade plum jam, Linda's favorite. "Thought you might like some sweetness," she muttered, towing welcome mat. Turns out, crafting peace wasn't about grand gestures. It was showing up messy and hopeful with hands full of humble offerings. And maybe, just maybe, sipping coffee together while rain whispered forgiveness against window. Linda's morning had all vibes of a Seattle autumn, drizzle clinging to her wool sweater, a half-finished mug of single-origin roast going cold on her workbench. 52 years of life hadn't prepared her for this particular brand of awkwardness, crafting peace offerings for neighbors who'd rather toss passive-aggressive notes about recycling bins than share a sidewalk. Her hands moved on autopilot, glazing a ceramic mug with swirling blues, same shade as Puget Sound on rare sunny days. Each stroke felt like a stubborn push against years of muttered grievances. What if they laughed? What if they threw it straight into donation bins alongside last year's ugly Christmas sweaters? Doubt pooled in her stomach, sour as overbrewed espresso. But Linda had survived PTA meetings and a divorce. She could survive a little creative vulnerability. Inspiration struck between sips of lukewarm coffee. That indie shop on Pike Street, one with yarn-bombed lampposts, hosted weekly craft circles. Why not a craft and coffee meetup? Not some kumbaya nonsense, just neutral ground where people could stab clay instead of each other's backs. She booked space before second-guessing could kick in. First attendee? Marjorie from 3B, who'd once called zoning over Linda's offensively tall sunflowers. She arrived arms crossed, skepticism etched deeper than crow's feet. But give a woman a lump of wet clay and watch magic happen. Fingers remembered childhood play, shoulders unhunched. By third week, Marjorie was smuggling extra croissants from her bakery shifts. Linda's mug ended up gifted to retiree downstairs, a man who'd filed noise complaints over her suspiciously cheerful humming. He used it every morning, she knew, from clink of spoon against ceramic through thin apartment walls. Small victory, but Seattle ran on those. Rain, caffeine, and quiet art of mending cracks, one handmade thing at a time. Linda's morning had all vibes of a Seattle drizzle, gray, quiet, with that unshakable chill between her and next-door neighbor Marjorie. 5 years of clipped hellos over fence posts, all because Marjorie's dog dug up Linda's prize peonies once. But today, cradling a hand-painted ceramic mug glazed with swirling blues like Puget Sound dawn, Linda decided enough was enough. She marched past her hydrangeas, heart thumping harder than her knitting needles during a caffeine rush. Marjorie's porch light flickered, mocking her hesitation. Woman set down mug with a gutsy clink, along with a note, "Truce? Let's brew better vibes." Backing away, she tripped over a garden gnome, tiny goof, but fate's nudge. Marjorie emerged, squinting mug like it might bite. Skepticism melted when she turned it over. Woman had painted their street name beneath handle, a secret wink to shared roots. Crowd of early bird joggers slowed, phones already up. Someone snapped a shot, mug cradled in Marjorie's hands, her stern mouth twitching toward a smile. By afternoon, local coffee shop buzzed louder than espresso machines. Linda's idea, a craft and coffee reconciliation workshop, spread faster than pumpkin spice rumors. Marjorie arrived, arms crossed, but clutched that mug like a lifeline. "This is my start," creator thought, watching her neighbor hesitantly pick up a paintbrush. Then, plot twist, barista posted their photo online. By sundown, mug truce trended citywide. News vans clogged street. Marjorie, now elbow-deep in glitter glue, muttered, "Never thought I'd say this, but pass Mod Podge." Linda hid a smirk. 52 never felt so fierce. Linda's mornings now hummed with purpose, that hand-painted ceramic mug, once a peace offering, now her daily ritual. Seattle's gray skies couldn't dim her spark. She'd turned her craft table into a bridge, hosting craft and coffee workshops where feuding neighbors sanded edges over glaze and gossip. Even Marjorie from 3B, who'd once yelled about dahlia borders, now gifted Linda hand-stitched coasters. Age hadn't slowed her, 5'2" was just a number, like how many mismatched buttons she'd hoarded. Quirky? Sure, but inspiration struck in odd places. Local coffee shops buzzed with her accidental diplomacy, strangers becoming allies over crochet hooks and cold brew. That mug? Now a symbol passed between workshop grads, each chip and brushstroke a story of grudges softened. Linda didn't fix people, she handed them glue guns and stepped back. Community built itself when hands stayed busy and hearts cracked open. Grab a brush, mend more than pottery.